Thanks, Rico, for joining us today. Today we're talking about what Labs is, and as the head of Labs, I felt like you were probably the best person to ask. So let's start with, what is Labs? What's the Labs group?
Okay, so our Labs is the support you always wish that you had. Our organization is made up of individuals that have been working with BPM platforms and ODM well in excess of 10 years. And so we've got a large depth of knowledge in these topics where we can apply best practices and can help guide you through your overall journey as you implement and work with in your entire organization BPM as well as ODM platforms.
Nice. So the support that I always wish I had is a pretty lofty goal. What kind of services does that actually encompass? What does that actually mean?
Development or installation, setup and installation, as well as development of their processes, best practices around that, and help them avoid potholes as they start building out these and setting this environment up.
So kind of the pre-production work and post-production work?
Pre-production is, yes, absolutely. So I mean, in this scenario, customers come to us because they're not familiar with how to set these environments up. And so we'll walk them through that process, or we'll even do it for them if they would like that. It's a matter of how they want to participate in the overall setup of their environment. Once they get that done, then it's off to development of those processes. We can help them with what are the best practices in setting up those processes so that their end users are getting value out of that, so their business is getting value out of that. And then once they actually get those processes into production, it's actually the management, maintenance of those processes as well as the environment that they're running on. It's an overall development platform, and so it's a matter of understanding how do you keep all of that working effectively and continuing to add value to your organization.
And so what kind of benefits are the clients seeing from this? What's different about your group than, say, another support organization somewhere else?
We take a more holistic approach at the overall environment. So typically when you talk to a support organization, they're going to own just a specific piece of it. So say, for example, they may own just the infrastructure of it. But if your problem actually bleeds over into the application or the process that you've written, they're not necessarily really good at troubleshooting that. And so we can help you isolate that and identify where the problem is, because these things they do go together. Back to the comment, it's a holistic approach to the overall system. In addition to that, we can help you maintain, performing systems. These are living, breathing things. Just like anybody, you have to do maintenance on them, and you have to keep them going. Provide patches or install patches on those environments. Clean them up over time, just because they get bad stuff built. Get stuff in the database doesn't need to be there. So just best practices around that. And again, migrate when time comes to add new features and functionality so that you can develop new processes and add more value to your organization.
Well, thanks for joining us today and talking about Labs.
Great.
You truly are the expert in Labs.
Thank you for having me.